Good evening, precious people. I want to welcome you to another episode of Ask the Counsellors. We've been having some very interesting discussions for the past couple of weeks. And today we are coming your way to answer your questions once again. And then next week we are going to start a new topic. But at the end of the program, I'll tell you what our discussion will be next week onwards. I'm your host, Dr. Selassie Ajenasare. And we have this evening in the studio with us, once again, Bishop Charles Ajenasare. We also have here with us Reverend Mrs. Cecilia Jo Dickens, also with us here this evening. We have Reverend Mike Ankuma also here with us this evening. If as the program is going on, you have some questions, please keep them coming. We've had questions coming in throughout the week. Every day we have so many questions coming in. Looks like people still have a lot of questions, even after the sessions we've had and after the questions we have answered so far. So if you have any questions as the show goes on, please do well to send them to us. If you are watching us by Facebook, you can just type your message in on the Facebook message thread and we'll pick them up. And then if time will permit us, I'll post them to the counselors. And if you are used to emails, you want to also send it to us at questions with an S, questions @ajenasare.org. Or if you are used to text messages or WhatsApp, you want to send it to this number 020-343-8710. If you are watching from outside Ghana, we have questions coming in from Nigeria, from Cameroon, from Sierra Leone, Liberia. We have questions coming in from South Africa, the UK, US, Jamaica, and so on and so forth. The country code is +233 or 00233 20343 8710 +233 20343 8710. So I'll read some of your questions coming from outside Ghana this evening, but you can keep them coming in if you have questions for the counselors this evening, and we promise you have a good time. You want to invite your spouse, you want to invite your beloved, you want to invite someone you're in a relationship with to join in now. And as we always advise, it's good to watch this with your spouse so that if there's anything, your spouse can also hear it. If there's any difficulty, your spouse can hear it, and then both of you can work on the marriage or the relationship as well. So we'll just go straight this evening to begin to answer your questions. And at some point in the program, we'll open the phone lines to hear your questions as they come in as well. The first question this evening is from one of our viewers, and she says, I'm a lady of 33 years and I'm dating a man of 37 years for almost a year now. He promised to marry me by January next year. The problem I'm having now is that we were friends before we started dating. He doesn't like calling me, and even as we are dating now, it's difficult for him to call me. The second issue is that he doesn't support me financially in case I'm in need. We all have good jobs. Please, I need your help because I love him. So they used to be friends, and then they began dating, but all of a sudden that friendship has gone sour. He doesn't call her anymore, and he doesn't provide any time there's a financial need, even though they have good jobs. What do you have to say?
I would wonder whether the gentleman is still interested in her. Because if he is, he's not showing signs that he is interested. Because if they were friends and he has slacked, then probably there's somebody else in his life. Otherwise, why would he slack? And so she needs to find that out. And normally, when people are courting, we don't encourage them to be doing this, supporting one another. However, if it's a real need, yes, then you want the person to be there for you, and then also when he's in need, you are there for him. So I think that she should find out where the guy is standing now about their relationship. That's all right.
Can it be if before marriage there's a need and the man doesn't support or the woman doesn't support? Is there an indicator that in marriage they would That would be the case.
It's relative. And what will you call a need? Because for some of the people, it's a want. They just want so many things. And a real need is probably your would-be has lost their parents or something, or there's an emergency and needs help, or they are throwing that person out of their accommodation, and some way, somehow, their money is gone somewhere, and so they can't manage it. Yes, then I'll call an emergency. Otherwise, when you are courting, it's not a time to be doing all that stuff. That's what I think.
All right.
And the lady said that they are both gainfully employed. So what is she looking for? Maybe she wants to test the generosity of the man. Other than that, what Bishop is saying is what we all know and say. Because if you want the man to be taking responsibility of you, then that means you also have to be cooking and washing. But we don't allow all these things. So I think that if I'm not to speculate, I hope the lady hasn't given herself to the man. If she has given herself to the man, that means the interest, the anxiety is gone.
Excitement.
Yes.
All right. So this is from one of our viewers. It says, I'm a married man for 8 years now, and there is no child. Okay, I think it's a woman who's writing. So I'm married to a man for 8 years now, and there's no child. He was always changing girls in the name of trying to see. I never complained because I thought I was the problem. After so many tests, he noticed that he's the problem, but still will not stop changing girls and is currently with one lady. Please advise me on what to do. Advise me on what to do.
Are they married?
Yes,
They've
they are
been married for 8 years.
For 8 years, and they didn't have a child. But the woman always thought it was her problem. That's why, so she is the reason why they are not having children. So allow the man to go from woman to woman. And after several tests, it's come out that the man has a problem, either a low sperm count or something. And as a result of that, the man is still cheating. She doesn't know what to do. What would your advice be?
It means they are not Christians.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can't propose a spiritual solution because
Yeah.
you can't be talking about pray and believe while you are cheating, because so I think that it should be this opportunity for them to dedicate their life to Christ first and foremost. They must give their life to Christ. That's the most important thing in a decision, because if you want, that this is a Christian platform. So if you want a solution from a ground, start from the basis. Give your life to Christ. Let your partner give his life to Christ. Go to church, get a pastor, and that when those things are settled, then you can be talking about what to do. But you allow your husband to cheat. You know he was going out, and because you have a child,
you don't have any problem.
You don't have any problem with it. It's something I can. So they must use the opportunity to commit their life to Christ, and then live for Christ. And then from there, God will help them deal with this child.
Would they benefit from talking to someone, a pastor, a counselor?
But like you said, they must first of all do the right thing. They must give themselves to the Lord and then go to church. Then, because if they go to see a pastor, we are pastors here. But the solution we will prescribe, they can't accept, because how can you allow your husband to be committing adultery and you don't have a problem with it? I mean, so it means that you seriously, means that if you are not careful, the lady can even wish they had polyamory, or they wish that they had a threesome. I mean, it means that you don't mind if you invite somebody into your bed. So there's a problem. Yeah, she needs to get the basics right.
Okay. So there's a question from Nigeria, and the person says, I'm writing from Nigeria, and so it's a lady. My husband doesn't pray together with me. I've tried all I can for us to pray together, but he says no way. Even to gather I and our children to pray together, he says no. The more I try to make him see the importance of family praying, the more he feels disturbed. What can I do? Should I continue praying on my own?
I think she should continue praying on her own. Maybe the man doesn't have maybe she's more spiritual. And maybe she's been intimidating the man with her spirituality. So the man doesn't feel confident taking the lead in spiritual matters. If she's the kind of lady who everything, or maybe everything she's quoting scripture, the man feels intimidated. And so probably he doesn't even have the confidence to lead the whole family to pray. So if she can, instead with her good works, encourage him. And it doesn't matter if she is the spiritual one, to lead the family in prayer and discussion and let the man join.
This is from Kumasi, and she says, what must you do when your husband wants to stop working and take care of the kids? What must I do? Yeah, so
you do.
So the lady is writing, the husband wants to stop working.
Want her to stop working.
Want her.
Okay.
The husband wants her to stop working.
Wants you to okay, all right. So the husband wants her to stop working and take care of the kids.
How endowed is the man? How endowed is the man? If you have a man who is very well endowed and he cares about the family and feels that he is more secured with you not working and can take very good care of you, that is no problem. You can go ahead, and since he's the head. But if he is not well endowed and you would have to go through challenges in your marriage, then let somebody know. Let somebody come in. Let somebody talk to him. Because in this 21st century, it's only very few women who accept being at home. Because if you are home, we believe that you become stale. You are not on top of it. You are not up to it. When people are going, you are there. And so you are not challenged, sort of. So if the man is average, he would also need help. And these days, it's just that COVID has made people not send their children to school. People send their children to school as early as 3 months, so that the woman can also be working to support the home. So what does the man want to achieve? So how are they going to achieve the goals they have in their marriage? So he could talk to somebody.
I want to also add that even in cases where the man is well endowed, the lady should have the assurance that one day this man will, because I've seen too many of it. Yes. They start out well, the lady was working, the man encourages her to quit working, and then at a certain time the man feels, I don't like you anymore, and so the lady is not working and has to go out of the house. In Europe and America, when you leave, the man, you leave the house. You can be the one who bought it before you brought the lady in. You leave, you walk out of the house, and the lady keeps the house. So if you are married, you need to have that assurance where anything the man buys, he buys it in both names. If the man is buying everything and it's still in only his name, I don't see why you should stop working. Because when you work, by all means, at the end of your working years, you get your social security, etc. And then when you are a lady, from what I have seen, you will lose your self-confidence. Right. If you even want to go to the salon and you have to ask your husband for money to go to the salon, you want to, do your nails, and you are going to the market, and the chop money is not up to, and you can't add because you are not working. You feel very limited, Yeah.
I was counseling a lady, one of the counselors and counseling a lady, and when I realized that there's all kinds of ideas about men. And when I realized the father, when and they were young. The mother was working. The father he can provide. And so the mother stopped working in the house. And just like Bishop said, later on, this man began to see younger girls. And one day, she and the mother slept outside their own house. And so it was like...
For a lady like that, when she marries.
You realize that, so I had to counsel her that that's what your father. It doesn't mean that your husband
will do that.
Will do that. You know, he didn't even have confidence. When the man said, I love you, you love me. He was not even sure that I love you was proper because of what he has gone through. So like Bishop is saying, today, you can't be sure. How committed are they Christians? How committed is the man? What kind of job is he doing? If perhaps a minister at work, when then you know that he will not live fine, but normal marriage, normal thing, you are not even very good committed Christians, it's unadvisable.
Okay. Good evening. I'm a professional teacher, and there's a lady I'm helping to go through apprenticeship, after which we get married, but the parents and brothers refuse to allow me to marry her. The lady wants to marry me even if the parents are not in support. I want to stop helping her and to stay away from her, but the family is not ready to help her. Should I shun her to cut my spending on her, or I should go ahead and marry her even though the parents are not in support? Please help me.
He needs to make up his mind. We always encourage people to get the support of the family. However, if people are of age and they push it and it doesn't work, there are times they decide that, look, we want to get married, we love one another, and they go ahead and get married. If he's helping her financially and he has the wherewithal and he can do it without any emotional attachments, he should go ahead and do it. But if he's doing it with the purpose of marrying her, then he should let the parents also know that if you want me to leave your daughter so that you take care of her, I will do that.
It's a difficult one because at times you read, why are the parents not interested in the relationship? Unfortunately, there are some parents where when you examine, you realize that their idea behind you don't want our daughter to marry. It's not something that will help the lady. There are cases like that, and at times you don't know why it is like that. You know, a mother, your daughter is getting a good marriage, and somehow, some way, this woman is not interested. And so, if you should do further investigations, if it's like the parents don't want the good of the child, at times it's like that, then, well, I would, if he loves the lady loves him, you pray and believe God that after some time the parents can come over.
Okay. They can also involve some elderly people in the family.
Okay.
There are some marriages parents will not accept, but uncle would accept. Ebusiapeni would go ahead to help you marry. Like Osofo is saying, ask why my mom will not want me to marry. That some is racial, tribal. And so if you can get somebody to intervene, fine. But if you persist and the parents are still not allowing you people to marry, in my view, I would advise that you go your separate way, because at times it creates problems, family problems. A daughter and a father and mother may not be talking to each other for a long time. Even if things happen in the family, you go there like a stranger. You are not accorded that respect. So, I mean, we are not abrofo. We are how do you call it? Extended family system that we believe in it. So your parents are involved. Can you imagine you marrying and your daughter cannot come to you, or you can't go to your daughter, you can't talk because of this? It will not even bring emotional peace to you. So.
But there are some of the parents, they are trouble. There are some of the parents, they are trouble, and you do everything.
Yeah.
Because you see, as parents, we are supposed to guide and counsel our children. But when we do and they insist that this is what I want, after we've done everything, if they insist this is the man I want, this is the woman I want, we should give them our blessing. And if we don't want to give the blessing, and the people also feel that, look, we've done everything. We've sent elders, we've sent relatives, we've gone, and they love one another. I think that there are times, you see, but in such a relationship, then the two of them must make it a point that they will so love one another
Make the thing work.
to make it work. You know, because I mean.
Okay, this is an interesting one. This is from MFR. It says, Bishop, I would like you to bless my marriage when the time comes. But I'm in the Volta region, in Georgia. And we don't have a prayer chapel here. I wish we can have one branch here.
Well, we will believe God to have a branch there, but I can promise you I will be the one to bless your marriage. We have so many pastors, and I'm sure that one of our pastors will be able to bless your marriage.
Okay. This is from Yawa in Ho. It says, Honorable panel, please can you bless your marriage without registering it at the court? Thank you.
No. When it comes to blessing of marriage, it always goes with the court registration. Yes. Except you just want to you want to pay the dowry and have a pastor pray over it. But that is not a legal blessing, you know.
Okay, this is from an anonymous viewer who says, my question is, someone threatened me by saying, I will kill you and use your son as a thanksgiving. I got him arrested, and even on the day of his arrest, I was hit on my nose with a blow from his brother. When we got to the police station, his uncle came in to plead to settle the case at home, and the station officer allowed it to be solved at home and bring him the results. They have come to apologize, and when we went back to the police station, I asked the CID if I can get a protection warrant, but she said I should just go and get a letter to withdraw the case. Please, what's the way forward? Because I'm not okay the way the case is being handled. Thanks.
Bishop is the lawyer.
I think she should take it up some more. Yes, because as long as he or she doesn't feel safe, yes, they can't just settle it at home. In fact, even when the court decides you go for mediation, and you go for the mediation, and you are not satisfied, you take the case back to court. So if she's not satisfied with the way it's being handled, you see, that's the challenge we have with our extended family thing. We always want to solve things at home. But there are some other things when you keep solving, because if the person is threatening you and the brother can bump you on the nose, who knows what will happen next? You should take it a step further. Go to Dovsu or somewhere like that. Yes, take it to the regional police office. Yes, and report it. It's important.
Okay, this says, hello, counselors. My husband stopped having sex after having 2 kids. He's on medication for a common condition. She didn't tell us. All drugs have side effects, but he has never even trusted his doctor to tell him that the medicines have affected his sexuality. For 20 years now, there hasn't been any intimacy.
Hey.
He doesn't touch, embrace, kiss, or even fondle. I do all the house chores, and he concentrates on his work. We are in the bedroom as if he's avoiding temptation. He sleeps from night till daybreak with hands in between his thighs. He has worn normal shorts and belt at night for 20 years so that I don't get close to him. He got furious when I confided in his own big brother years ago. He expects me to be happy in this boring marriage. He doesn't take me out, and I hardly go out to visit friends. He doesn't open the topic for discussion. Anytime I raise the issue, he crawls into his shell and goes to bed. He has so far not made any attempt to help himself due to his ego, and does not care about how I am affected.
If they go to church, you should talk to the pastor. Because since the man can't even stand it being discussed with his own brother, then he should talk to their pastor and let their pastor come in. By all means, somebody must come in. Otherwise, I mean, he's putting the lady in a place to be tempted, and that is not good for the relationship. Yeah.
They should seek help. They should seek help medically, and like Bishop is saying, seek a counselor. It is not. We don't know their ages, but 20 years and 2 kids. It's a long time for a woman to be by a man's sleep in the same room,
the same bed,
and there's no touching. Body not be firewood, though. Body not be firewood. So if you can't have penile sex, the penis, you can't insert the penis. There are other ways to satisfy a woman. It is not just that. In fact, it's not even about the penis entering. It's about how you treat the woman. Make the woman feel a woman. And it's not just, that is why God didn't create just the penis. He made the body, a whole body. And so the body is there. Even Bible says, let the breast of your wife satisfy you. And if I may be a little spoiled,
what you are saying, the lady doesn't have a problem with that. Issue is the man is not making the move.
Yes, I think the man should be told that it is not just about you having an erection. You are not having it for 20 years. You are not having it. Find other ways. Don't be selfish. Let it be in your mind that you want to satisfy this woman. And she even wants to go out, isn't it? She wants to hold your hands and go for a walk. But it's like, you are the holier than thou. So unless the man is not giving her in the house but goes out to do it somewhere for 20 years.
I think the man has a spiritual problem.
Yeah.
Because I always have a problem with, naturally, it's a man, we are activated by our sight. So for a man to be seeing the nakedness of a woman and nothing happens, there's a problem. I think there's a spiritual dimension to the problem. And so the woman should also look at that dimension. Prayer, see pastor, like Bishop said.
But
and then see. Yeah.
So the woman mentioned that the man is on some medications for a common problem.
So you are a doctor. What are some of the things?
Probably hypertension, diabetes, and some of the medications you can be on can, lead to some amount of impotence or,
But the doctors are still able to enhance.
Yes. So the other medications that you can take whilst you are taking those hypertensive medications to still, the Viagra's and things like that are still there to do that. But my question, so we mentioned some time ago that if you marry and there's no consummation, there's absentia, you can leave the marriage. You marry and there's some period of sexual encounter, then all of a sudden everything just goes away. The man's light goes off. Is there any
that one you can't? So
yes.
you chop some so for better for
so
it.
So you stay with it.
But medically, you are a doctor, so you know this, that they said almost 90% of erectile dysfunction can be corrected. So if it is so, then for most people, yes, it can be corrected.
All right. This question says, "Hi, I've been married for 7 years now, and we are doing very well. However, my husband has been communicating often with a lady he once proposed to before meeting me. The lady didn't agree to his proposal because he was seeing someone else. They, however, became friends. Okay, she was seeing someone else. They, however, became friends. Recently, she asked my husband to pick her mother, who visited and was leaving at dawn around 4 a.m. I wasn't happy about it. But my husband said he was just helping them. This lady calls him often too, which I'm always unhappy about. Please, is it appropriate?"
It is not appropriate.
It's not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not appropriate. I can see that perhaps the man had sex with the lady and there's a soul tie.
That's right.
Has not been broken. And so it's difficult to leave that relationship. For all that, they may even be meeting secretly, the woman doesn't know. And so he must insist that those things, those contacts, calling is cut off. See a pastor, see a counselor, and let the person convince the man that this thing that you are doing is unhealthy. It will not help your relationship. Cut it off, and that.
I want to believe that most of the people that are asking the questions are not true Christians. Because if you are a true Christian, how can you marry someone and have that soul tie with, even not spiritual soul tie, but still have a soul tie with your ex? If you can't do that, because we thought about leaving, cleaving, and becoming one flesh. The two of you have become one, and the Bible says that all things have become new. The two of you are starting on a solid foundation. We are one. So how can you just drift to see another person, talking to another person? There are some that I hear whilst they will watch whether their wives are sleeping, then they will be talking on the phone. And if it's like the wife is twisting, twerking, then they will quickly stop. People don't understand the God's purpose for marriage, what God means for marriage. So she should talk to a family member or a pastor if they go to church. Even if they are not committed Christians, they should talk to a pastor. And the guy should also know that he is committed to the wife, the happiness of the wife, the peace of the home, and stop what the wife does not like. We are there to meet each other's need, emotionally, psychologically, mentally, and physically. So
there are times people forget about soul ties, like they were saying. And normally in our language, there's this that we say that an old flame easily ignites. And so if he and the ex had sex before, probably that lady didn't agree to the proposal initially, but now she's gone back and she's saying to herself, so she's doing everything to capture the relationship. Unfortunately, the man is not seeing it like that, because probably the man was head over heels for her. Now, probably the lady who sent us the question might also not be doing something right. Because what makes the man still get drawn to this lady? There are times it could just be his lust or the soul tie. But there are times too, maybe that lady was doing something this lady is not doing. Maybe that lady, you know, years ago, there's this guy who made a song. You know, so some is good soup, some is good conversation. So maybe this lady doesn't talk to the man. Maybe when he comes home, it's just nagging. If it's just nagging, then he would rather talk to the other lady. And even some of the questions we've had, there are people that immediately they start talking, there is a fight or a hot argument. Maybe that is the situation. So the lady might not be doing something right. She should do what is right. She should encourage the man, because if you are always criticizing your husband, he will fall into the hands of another woman who would encourage him and may even flatter him. You know, so she must look at all those sides too.
All right. So if you are watching us, you are watching us live on Ask the Counsellors. If you have questions, your questions can continue to come in. We've received quite a number of questions. I'll be going to them shortly, but please keep your questions coming in. And if you are watching by Facebook, just post it on the Facebook thread. And then if you are used to emails, you can send it to us at questions, questions, @agyinasare, agyinasare.org. It's not hyphenated, it is together, agyinasare.org. And then if you are used to text messages or WhatsApp, you can send us a message to this number, 020 343 8710. 020 343 8710. If you are watching from outside Ghana, the country code is +233 or 00233 20343 8710. We'll be opening the phone lines also very shortly, so just stand by and I'll give you the numbers to call very soon. This is from Emmanuel, and he says, please, good evening. If you are dating and it happens that your lady went behind your back to cheat on you, what should you do? What should you do?
If you are dating and this happens, then just walk out of the date. Because if she can do this whilst you are dating, when you marry, I mean, can you trust her is the thing. So for me, I would suggest that he walks out of the relationship.
People should understand the differences between courtship, dating, and engagement. Dating is not marriage. You are studying each other. You are studying each other. You want to know how he even talks, whether it matches with the way you want a man to talk, the way a man dresses, the way. And if you are just dating and a man is doing this, that means you are not.
No, the lady.
The lady is going behind. Oh, then you have to let her go.
All right.
Yeah, it's just a date.
Okay, all right. So we have a question from Sierra Leone, and I think it's a male. He says, "Good evening, Precious TV." He's watching from Precious TV all the way from Sierra Leone. Thank you for watching us. I'm Sir George. Okay, from Sierra Leone. I'll mention the surname. I'm interested in the discussion this evening because I'm a married man and I love my wife. But my two sisters don't want to see my wife because of the love I share with my wife. Please advise me on how I should handle this matter, because I love my wife very much and my wife loves my family. So they are married, they are doing very well, but his two sisters don't want to have anything to do with his wife because of the love they share.
Are the two sisters not exhibiting witchcraft? Probably the two sisters have gone into a relationship and it didn't end well. So they are wishing this girl or this lady evil. So what he must do is protect the wife from the sisters. He should make sure that if it's possible for him, he should make sure that the wife doesn't visit them at home. If the wife wants to meet him or wants something from him, they should meet at the workplace or somewhere. The sisters. If the sisters want something from him, because if they come to see their love, they will have a problem. And so he needs to shield his wife from that problem. And then if he has any misunderstanding with his wife, he should make sure he never shares it with the family, because they will stand on it and create problems in the relationship.
All right.
That's the best answer.
Okay. All right. Good evening. This also one that just came through. I'm a lady of 28 years, and I was engaged in a relationship for 10 years. We broke up about 3 months ago, and he still calls me for my service. I wonder what service that is. Please, what should I do? Please,
they were not married.
They were not married. They were just engaged. They were in a relationship for 10 years.
Oh, is the guy not taking advantage of her?
Yes.
She should be able to cut off and move forward, because if she doesn't cut off, she can't even allow another person into her life. So she should make a decision. If you don't want me anymore, I'm gone, and I'm gone. You know, maybe she's also thinking that maybe he still loves me, he will come back, something. But hey, she shouldn't take that chance, you know.
Okay, this says, good evening. Please, my case is I have been married to this man for 6 years now, and we don't have a child. And my husband is chasing women here and there. And now he's with one girl, and he's planning on marrying the lady. My husband is a deacon, and our pastor has talked to him so many times, but he will not listen. Please help me.
And the pastor has not suspended him? the pastor should suspend him, because he can't be a deacon and be chasing girls. It doesn't work. He's defiling the church too. So the pastor should take a decision. Yes.
All right. This is from Stephen. He says, I'm married for 10 years now, but my wife always feels insecure that I will leave her, which I do not dream about. What should I do?
Your wife's insecure. Things that you live.
Is he not suggesting, making suggestive statements to that effect? How then is she not secured? If you have been together for 10 years, that means there's some fear in the lady.
There are some ladies that are just insecure.
That it may be the background. Yes, maybe the background.
There are some ladies, when they even see the man talk with another woman, it's a problem. Even casual talking, it's a problem. And so we need to look at that. If that is the cause, then, and probably the man is also giving her room to think that he's not stable. You see, because if you, dear, all your friends, you are married, and all your friends are women, your wife will be thinking that you leave her one day.
If for 10 years, so the lady, it means that there's something the man is doing that is making the woman insecure. So he check, what am I doing? Because for 10 years, trust is built over here. For 10 years, you'll be able to build the trust, or they want to be secure that, oh, my husband, I can trust him. But if for 10 years your wife still thinks you can leave her, it means the problem is with the man. He should check his life and why the wife is not insecure.
All right. This says, God bless you all for the good work you are doing. I'm married to a man for 7 years now, and he was cheating on me, and so I decided to quit the marriage. But for the past 3 months, I have not been going for communion. I want to commune with the Lord. Please, what should I do? Ekia from Koforidua.
Is it that she's not going to the communion? Because normally, if you are not going to communion, is it that because you've done something? So is it that she has done something? That's why she's not going for communion. We don't know. But if nothing has happened, then she should just rededicate her life to the Lord and go for communion.
Okay. This says, good evening. Please, what do you do when your husband doesn't want to work on days that he's fasting and there is no money at home? He earns wages and not a salary. So I think when he works, he gets paid. Yeah. And that is what we use to run the house. And we have 3 boys. I earn a salary and use that for our projects and other bills and school fees. Nah.
The man should be responsible. I mean, you can fast and still go to work, and it doesn't change anything. Yes, I was in a fast yesterday, and I came to work. I preached in the morning. I led prayer in the evening. I was in a fast all day yesterday. And there are some of our church members this week, they are all fasting, but they are going to work. Some are doctors, some are lawyers, some are doing masonry and all that. So the fact that your husband is fasting doesn't mean he shouldn't go to work, because he needs to earn money to take care of the home.
All right. This from Elom, and it says, I want to know, is it right for children to help their father to pay the bride price of their mother if they got to know that their father didn't do this earlier on?
That question, I know that normally in the north, the bride price, it's cows, maybe 4, 5, 6, 8 cows. And so some can get married and take time to pay it throughout the marriage. I don't know how high, if the guy is Elom, I don't know how high the away bride price is that the father couldn't pay and will need the children to help to pay it. But if that is the only solution to make sure their mother is married and they can help, they should go ahead and help.
That's all right. All right. This says, good evening. This is from Ajwa. Please, there's a friend whose boyfriend keeps beating and stalking her. She has called for breakup several times, but the guy never agrees. and he keeps on doing the same thing over and over again, what should she do? Should she report to the police as a Christian or pastor? Or
immediately. We just saw a pastor shoot the wife, a Ghanaian pastor in America. So why would you want to wait? And when we had
Domestic violence.
FIDA had come to talk to us about domestic violence. She said that, look, once it starts, yes, you need to get people involved.
Okay. Good evening, counselors. My husband wants to travel to another country to work, leaving me and our 4 sons. Do you think it is the will of God for couples to be far apart from each other?
Being far apart creates a lot of problems. Most men have traveled that way and ended up marrying even there. Because what is the guarantee that when you go there, you easily get documentation? And there are times people think that it's rosy out there, but it's not rosy out there. And so if they had somebody who has traveled before to talk to the husband, unfortunately, there are times you are telling people and they feel that, oh, if it wasn't good, you went there, but there are so many people who have traveled and they haven't come home for 20 years because they don't have documentation yet or they are papers yet. And some of them, they don't even have the money to buy their ticket to come home. And so it should be,
This idea of going out for greener pastures, even though for many years people have realized that it is not always the best. Still, people have the idea that, as long as I get to America, things will be okay and we're going to Canada. But they go and they realize that you have friends who have gone out, and you wish that they settled here. There are times you even go there, and when you make it, coming back in your old age becomes an issue. So I think that the husband, if he's doing a good job here, and the family is here.
4 sons. Why do you want to leave them?
4 children.
Who will raise them up?
Who raised them? Who raised those? So I think that the husband needs somebody to speak to. He needs somebody to speak to him to represent their decision.
All right.
And if you don't have the proper documentation, if you go with all your degrees, you are going to be doing menial jobs. And how much would that fetch you to enable you to take care of 4 children? Your remittances wouldn't be coming regularly, and the man is going to put you at a dangerous zone.
And when those things happen, what they do is that they now want to find somebody there. And do what they call
Connection marriage.
Connection marriage. And those things bring a lot of trouble.
Now the people there too are wise. Connection marriage. you are forced to be together.
It's even illegal now.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you do the paper marriage now, the government demands that anytime the police or immigration comes to your home, you should be together. Yeah. They want to come and find the man's clothes in your closet, etc. Things that shows that the man, and some of the women even in the past, when the government was not getting involved, if they do the papers for you, there are times they blackmail you. If you don't have sex with me, I'll break the thing. And then once you start having the sex with them, they keep demanding, and at times, if you don't come and live in the house with me, I'll go and report you. And so the men end up, we've seen so many. We've seen even some from this church go and end up doing that. So,
all right. This says, please, I have this colleague friend who constantly cheats on his wife. I've always advised him to stop, but to no avail. His wife also sometimes asks of him from me, but I tell her all is well. I'm doing the right thing.
Yes, we are trained to lie. So.
Yeah. Am I doing the right thing, or should I tell the wife of his cheating?
It's a difficult one. Because in Ghana, we have this problem that you don't want to contribute to the breakup of a marriage.
Yes.
But he should tell the guy that if you cheat again, I'll tell your wife. He should tell him, if you cheat again, I'll tell your wife. Once I know, I'll tell your wife. Yes.
And if he does it, you go ahead.
Yes.
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 But you've contributed to the breakup of it.
Oh, but at least you warn the guy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this says, good evening, sir. I'm married, but my wife and I live in different regions in Ghana, and the distance has been creating challenges, and all efforts to get a transfer to be together hasn't been fruitful. I'm thinking of quitting to join her. Please help us. Ben.
That's a good decision.
Okay.
If you get a job.
If you get a job.
If you get a job, it's the best decision he can make.
All right. This says, I married a lady who dated a married man before we got married, and they still chat and check on each other. I told her I don't like the idea of her chatting with him, but she said there's nothing going on between them, but they are not enemies. But I have observed that when she chats with him, she has been deleting the messages when I confront her about it. She said that the chat with the guy is not valuable to her. That is why she has been deleting his messages. Should I take her words?
Are they dating or they are married?
They are married.
They are married.
Oh, no, I mean, it should involve the parents. It should involve the parents and involve their pastor and counselors. Yes.
I think one of these days we need to take the topic of how to handle your exes. I remember you posted a message some time ago about how you can sometimes be emotionally attached to somebody who is not your wife. You know, I think it's and it's very rampant. We keep having quite a number of questions on.
There was a pastor friend I had, and the wife used to work at UTC. One day I visited, and we were chatting, and the guy was coming. So this guy was my ex. Anytime he comes, there is something going before me, and realize that if the guy was around, and there was access, there will be a problem. Even though he was a Christian married to a pastor, anytime he sees the ex, there is that connection, chemistry, something.
If
that chemistry must be diffused.
Yes. And
it
if
must be diluted.
Let your husband be involved. Let him be involved. Let him know the truth, and let him help you. And if it happens so you are accountable to someone. You need to be accountable to someone. I'm sure when she goes to bed, she imagines. Yes. So, we have all been there. Just cut it. Because first cut is the deepest. So
this is Daddy, good evening. Please, my heart is with someone that didn't propose to me. What should I do? Please help me. So I think probably someone proposed, but her heart is elsewhere. So she's asking.
She should go and take the heart from where it is and bring it to this one who has proposed. Because that other guy, he is not interested. If he were interested, he would have proposed. So take the heart from there and come and put it where it is.
Can you also see the guy and say, you have my heart?
If there's somebody who has seen her and the person has proposed to her and she has accepted it, why does she should be able to lose sight of the other person. She should burn her bridges on that side. Yes.
In case nobody has proposed, and his heart is there, perhaps the man has not seen. In church, there are things you do to let the brother realize that
I'm interested.
Or
I'm available.
I'm available. And at times it works. I know a few cases where the sister has done things, and then the brother will come and they realize, and they married, and then, so
prompting. It's called prompting. So if she can prompt the one who has not seen, yes, it will help.
This says, good evening, counselors. Please, if you are dating a lady and she got pregnant, can we still have the wedding in church? Please help.
It depends on the church. There are some churches that will not have it. There are other churches that feel that, look, it is better to be married than to live in sin. And so we'll bless it for you. So it depends on the church.
Okay. This is
and then there are some tribes that also don't allow marriage when a lady is pregnant. So they need to look at all those things.
This is Hi Precious TV. The person is watching from Precious TV. I'm a Fua from Ahafo. I'm a lady of 27 years in a relationship for 5 years. The guy I'm dating 2 years ago told me he had cheated on me. I realized he had cheated with more than 5 ladies. I forgave him and we are still in the relationship, heading to marriage. But I get afraid he might still cheat when we are married. Is it possible for a guy to change from such behavior truly?
I mean, you should not be afraid. You should know that this man, when they marry, he will cheat. If he's prepared to go into that relationship knowing that my husband will cheat, he should go ahead. But if he's not prepared to do that, there should be no fear. This man will cheat.
Because if the man is cheating, then I want to assume he's sleeping with her too.
Yes.
That's all.
And if he's not satisfied sleeping with her, then when they marry, he won't be satisfied. Yes.
All right. This is, please, I'm married to a man who was with a lady, but unfortunately I got pregnant when we had a one-night stand. And his family forced.
Again.
So she's married to a man who was with a lady, but she got pregnant. So I think he was seeing another lady and seeing her, and she got pregnant when they had, it was just a one-night stand. His family forced him to marry me, so I think she wasn't the preferred. There was another lady. Now my problem is he doesn't eat my food. He comes home late and doesn't have sex with me ever since we got married. Now I don't know what to do. I have planned leaving the marriage. So he was forced to marry her.
It's a difficult one. The difficulty is that if she's a Christian, most Christians who have sex before they marry don't trust each other because they feel that if they could do the wrong thing, then now when they marry, it means that the wrong thing will keep happening. So probably that is what the guy is facing. Otherwise, it's a very delicate situation.
I think we don't have to force anyone to marry. I have a case like that. This young man dated one particular girl for about 6 years. And everybody thought they were going to marry. But another person comes in and said, I'm pregnant. And the family wanted to force him to marry the second one that is gotten a child for. But the guy is insisting that I'm not interested in that lady. It's a dicey situation because are you thinking of that child? Are you thinking of the head? Are you thinking of the family? And so, I mean, if there are times, if you can be strong, let the guy go and let the child be accepted and taken care of. Then you can work your life, you can pick up your life afterwards. Because if you force, look at what the lady is going through after forcing her. Now the man does not feel anything for her. If somebody could talk to the man that the mistakes have been made already, you can grow that love for this new one, then it will be better.
In the Old Testament, they didn't tolerate you impregnating a lady and going. And so even though a lot of times we say, oh, okay, but Charlie, you have your daughter. And then somebody just comes and you are waiting for your daughter to finish school, get married nicely. And then somebody comes and does his own thing. And then your daughter is going to have a child without a father. If you are a father, you feel that no, this guy should be responsible. He should marry the lady. So even though there are times it's not the best, but we shouldn't encourage guys to be having one-night stands. That's why Scripture says we shouldn't fornicate. We shouldn't encourage guys to be having one-night stands so that they will just be impregnating girls and letting them have born one, and then they leave them. So who do they want to now go at? Because there are times when a lady has a child, it becomes difficult to market her, or for another person to marry her.
And I also talk for the ladies. They should also be strong. You are not cheap for them to be taking you for one night stand. Value yourself. Put value on yourself. You can't have one night stand with me. No matter how handsome you are, how rich you are. Value yourself. Let the man know that. I always say that you see a hen, you see the way the hen goes flat with the wings before the man. That is what we have to be doing.
But since now the problem was the fact that they were forced to marry. So now somebody should let the gentleman know that he must take responsibility. You can't eat your cake and still have it. If you've done the thing and then you are married, you should be able to perform your responsibilities as a husband, because you were part of the problem. It's not a girl who you were part of the problem. So now that the problem has come, he should sit up and perform her duties as a husband.
Thank you for your questions that are coming in. They keep coming in their drones, and they keep coming in. I wish we could answer all your questions at a sitting, but we are going to open the phone lines now for you to bring in your questions. As the calls come in, we'll still try and answer your questions, but if we don't answer your questions, don't feel offended. We'll come to them someday. And the number to call if you want to talk to the counselors, and if you want them to answer a personal question, is 0207 10001, 0207 10001, 0207 10000. That's 100001. The zeros are 4. So we would love to hear your question. The counselors would love to. Oh wow, we already have a caller. All right, it looks like he had dialed the number before I even mentioned it. But yes, I think we just lost you. Please try calling again. All right, okay, please. Good evening. You are live on Ask the Counselors. Tell us your name, where you are calling from, and go straight to your question.
I'm Emmanuel, calling from Tamale.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, Emmanuel.
My question is, you are married, and then you feel like your partner doesn't trust you, and then there's nothing hidden. You don't have any secret, but the person suspects you. You don't do anything outside him. The person has the feeling that you have a side chick somewhere. What?
Emmanuel, we are not hearing you.
The person, you are married.
My question is, yes. And your partner feels like you have a side chick.
Your partner doesn't trust you.
Okay.
But you are.
Exactly.
Yes. There are two.
Innocent.
Yes. There are two things about it. Number one, either your partner is insecure, and number two, either you are doing something to make your partner suspect, and that's why she doesn't trust you. Maybe you cheated in the past. If you didn't cheat, maybe you are always talking to other ladies, and the way that talking is you are saying, maybe you are saying, I miss you, I love you, and those things. By all means, your partner would think that you are cheating. Yes.
All right.
And at times, it's not just the cheating. You are not truthful. Last Sunday, Bishop talked, and it's just exaggeration. Even it's a sin. There are some people, they exaggerate. They talk big, and it has no substance. So women, are afraid of such men. We are afraid of men who lie, who exaggerate, who can say that the castle belonged to my father. And they talk big.
The father built the airport.
So, people who are not truthful too can scare women.
Okay. We have Julia on the line. Good evening, Julia. We would love to hear your question.
Good evening.
Yes, tell us where you are calling from.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Efia from Konongo.
Okay.
Please, I've been married to a young man, very hardworking, and we are very happy.
Okay, we lost you there, Fia. Please do well to call us back. Do well to call us back. Oh, we have another call on the line. Okay, good evening. We'd love to hear your question. Tell us your name and where you are calling from. Yes, hello. Yes, can you please speak a
I'm Elsie.
Okay. Tell us where you are calling from.
Please, I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay. Please turn down the volume of your TV set. It's interrupting with the call.
Okay, please.
Go ahead.
So go ahead with your question.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead with your question. Good evening. Please go ahead with your question.
Please, I'm calling from Kumasi.
Okay, yes.
In fact, you have outlined some of the behaviors that makes a woman not to trust her husband. And I'm having that problem, seriously. So what should I do?
What are some of the things that makes you mistrust?
What Madame
Your husband
talking to other ladies.
Your husband exaggerates.
Exaggerates, talk to other ladies. And in fact, I've been caught to him before. So the trust is lost and I want to restore it. So what do I do? I want to restore because we are 4 kids. We have 4 children. And then I know he has to, but he has that problem. I want to restore that.
Trust.
Okay. So like we've been saying if you've been following us over the period, we've been saying that you need a counselor or a pastor who you can talk to. And so if you have a pastor or somebody you can talk to, you can bring him in to talk to your husband and let your husband know that he must speak the truth. You don't love him because of the big things he says. You love him for who he is. And so he should just be truthful to you. He shouldn't lie in other things. And that will give you more confidence to trust him and make the relationship work. It's very important.
Okay. All right. Okay. We have Beatrice from Nungua. Good evening, Beatrice. Pacho.
But told me almost 8 years.
Pacho.
Or 42 years.
Pacho. Obetima. Papa.
Pacho say.
Pacho. Obetima Asasha here. Yante.
You are 28 years.
Okay.
Now I need to be 42 years. The different confusion that they are dealing with your much. Now, we move the happening. Now, I got to the remaining lie out the old just 3 years. Now, you would you believe that those are all yet now meaningful? They are worried for 5 years. Those are all yet meaningful.
We are 22, worried for 5 years.
Where the 22 and 28? 28, and I'll come 42.
Okay.
And I'm worried for. And I'll come 42. More worried for 5 years. Okay. Now then koso. Ubet makasa den kakra yen shedante.
And I think that it's only that we had your condition. If you are free, you will say things on that and the one. No, they will see which is a mean quite. So, I can tell you, we will make channels and I mean, now, we project on it, we need for us to make our young for it. Now, we need to buy the power as a
okay, all right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the acting, Okay.
You heard it.
Na deɛ mepɛ sɛ mɛka ne sɛ wo kɔ awareɛ na wante wo kunu ebusuafoɔ ase a na wode saa adwene ne kɔ sɛ awareɛ deɛ in-laws no ɛnyɛ nti wo kɔ with defense a ɔmo si de saa bɛhyia ɔbɛɛma bi apɛ ne maame asɛm nti anka yɛ sɛ wonya abotrɛma n'ebusuafoɔ no na ɛkyerɛ ahobraseɛ ne ɔdɔ ɛma wo kunu manfoɔ ne sɛ ɔnyɛ nneɛma a ebi a wote sɛ nkurɔfoɔ ne ɔmo kunu no mu yɛ ɛsɛ wosua wo kunu ɛsɛ wote nea yɛfa ne sɛ what he does, what he believes in. If he wants, maybe you are nagging, maybe you are complaining too much, maybe yes, you don't make him trust you or believe that you are a woman he can sit down to think through things. That is why probably he's not showing you the project he's doing. And some men believe that if you show the project to your wife, your lifespan is hastened. So they will keep silent. Slowly.
But that's a wrong perception.
Yeah, it's a wrong perception. The Americans say, "Esa odo hompo nyankopon pa oba de wo hu sa na akoye spiritual warfare honhom ntokwa na enuama ekoso wo spiritual realm ni na wo de Bible teaching man o ka so de wa ho den ya untimi papa nso anyi asen nti obeye o te se ne ba eno so ese wo hwe ne yie.
We have Cynthia from Tamale. Lydia from Tamale. Good evening, Lydia. We'd love to hear your question. Go ahead with it.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Lydia. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this. My question is, or should I say, my problem is, I've in a relationship with this guy. He's 35 years of age, and I'm 27. And then he's a teacher as well. He's an school teacher. So the problem here is that we've been there, but all the time he has this kind of nagging, trust. He doesn't trust me, those kind of things. But there's this particular auntie of him. And according to the senior sister, when I confirmed, the senior sister told me that that particular auntie is not a direct auntie, but like a tribe auntie. It's not a direct auntie. They are not related. But this particular auntie keeps calling every single day. So I made a complaint to him. I do not like the way the lady has been calling. Because I'm not happy. Because anytime the lady calls, he takes the call and then go out and make the call. Or they were speaking in their language, and I was asked, oh, we just the auntie. And the auntie has been visiting him, and he has been visiting the auntie.
Okay.
So the problem here is that I confronted him, and he was like, it's enough. He wants us to end the whole relationship.
Okay.
So
what's your question, Lydia?
My question is that, is it that I am being too jealous or I don't trust him? Because the whole thing is like, there's no trust.
All right. Thank you, Lydia. All right. So,
Are they married or dating?
we're dating.
They're dating.
Yes.
And what happened?
So, I think the man picks calls and goes out to talk to whoever has called.
A particular lady that seemed to be an auntie, but she's not an auntie.
Yes. So, she's called off the relationship, and she's asking if it's because she was being too jealous.
She wants to call it off.
Oh, okay.
And she's asking whether is she being too jealous or...
Oh, because if she doesn't call it off, this auntie will be visiting them when they get married. And when she visits, the man will sleep in the same bedroom with the auntie, and then she will sleep on
the sofa.
All right. So, Lydia, you have your answer there. Okay, so this was from Rita, but Rita, we answered your question last week, so I'm just going to read the first 2 lines and then refer you to last week to go for the answer. Good evening, counselors. Please, I'm a 26-year-old graduate doing my service. So we answered that question last week, so you can go back to last week and then get your answer there. This one says, good evening, I'm 31 years and have known my husband since 2008, and we have been married for 5 years now. We are all nurses, and I always give all my salary to him. Please, am I safe? But I've never seen him cheat before.
You are not safe. You are not safe. You should have an account for yourself, and probably the two of you agree that you would all put this amount in this account you have opened as a joint account. I have seen a lady marry a man. At the time she was marrying the man, she had a land. She so loved the man. When they got married, the man said, let's register the land in my name. He registered the land in the man's name. 10 years later, they had a misunderstanding. The man was going out with another woman. The man has sacked the woman from the house, taken over, and is living in with another woman. Yes, we don't believe that when you marry, divorce will happen, but it happens. And you don't want to be weeping one day. No. And so you are working. Yes. You should be able to decide what you want to do with your money. If you want to buy something with your money, you don't need your husband's permission to do that. Likewise, your husband. And so the two of you agree, you have a joint account, you put some money in the joint account, and then you have a personal account by which you spend your money. Yes.
All right. Good evening. Please, is it advisable to date a guy for 5 or 6 years before marriage?
Normally, marriage counselors and psychologists all believe that 2 years is the best. Normally, after 2 years, most relationships cross. By 2 years, you get to the peak. But after 2 years, it crosses apart. And so I would advise that within 2 years, get married. Some, anyway, are able to court for 8 years. But that is not the rule. That is the exception. Yes.
Okay. Please, we are a new couple of 5 months, but my wife resists me kissing her during sexual intercourse. And I've been teaching her that it is part of sex. Yet she still resists. Please, Bishop, help me here. Thank you.
Maybe you don't brush your teeth before you go to bed. If you don't brush your teeth before you are going to have sex, your wife will have a problem. So, she will turn her head off. And so, if you are fulfilling the hygiene part, then convince her, let her know that kisses is part of it. In fact, the Songs of Solomon even talks about, kissing and all that. Yes.
All right, we have Daniel on the line. Good evening, Daniel. Would love to hear your question. Go ahead with it. Okay, it's gone off. All right.
So there's a caller.
Okay, we have another caller on the line. Yes. Good evening. Tell us your name, where you are calling from, and we'd love to hear your question this evening.
Hello. Please, I'm Hagar.
Okay. Can you please speak a bit more louder?
I'm Hagar calling from Oda.
Okay. Thank you, Hagar. Yes, go ahead with your question.
My question is, there is this man I've been dating for some time now, and we are ready to get married. I called my dad, and I even went to the house to visit, and I explained everything to them. But my father is not really showing any concern about it. I just told him that at least he should just see the person that I'm in the relationship with, but yes, so he only says, we will talk. Yes, he's not saying anything. So I don't know what to do. We are confused. Just to see the man is not. So I need an advice.
All right. Have you talked to your mother about it?
Yes, my mother is in the known of it, and she accepts it.
She accepts it.
She wants my father to also bring his consent since he's the head of the house.
Yes, I understand. Is your mother and father, are your mother and father still together?
Yes, please.
If they are, women, they know how to get their husbands to accept things. If your mother, she knows. So tell your mother that she knows how to get your father to accept things.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Please, what do you do when your husband is still spending money on his ex and his family? Because he said the lady helped him financially some time ago. It looks like this is really major.
So if he wants to help her, the two of you must go together and give the help. He shouldn't be doing it alone. He should do it with you. If you are involved, yes, then you are safer.
Okay, this question has come in, probably this is the fourth time. It's coming, last week it was there. It came in earlier today and it's coming
and
again.
we haven't answered.
Yes, so I'm going to read it. This is a very long one. So it says, good evening, counselors. My brother has a son, about 9 months, with a foreigner from one of the West African countries. He's not married to. My brother works in a mining company and is completing a master's program next year. But the lady, according to my brother, is an SHS leaver who trades in Weavon. I don't know where that is.
Weavon.
In Weavon. Okay. All right, Weavon. Aside the discomfort that comes with, 1, us not knowing her background well. 2, not knowing how and where my brother met her. 3, coupled with nothing about knowing her real intent of getting close to him. Upon my mother's visiting her after delivery, she asked her if she had a cesarean session. She replied no when asked twice, but she had a CS, which my brother confirms. Upon the ladies visiting her country, she told different dates of her return to my brother, my sister, and my mom and myself. Why is she lying and inconsistent with her words? Surprisingly, my brother defends her when asked about the CS and date of return. Would my brother marrying this lady be a good idea? Please talk to me. This lady had wanted to hurriedly leave for her country and leave her suckling child in Ghana. Could this one be a good mother, let alone a good wife?
Maybe, because they have a lot of distrust for her. Maybe they are showing it. Maybe when they talk to her, they keep making her know that you lied, you this, we can't trust you. If that is what is happening, probably it's part of the reason why she ran away. So, and you see, the family, they are not going to they are not going to marry the woman. And so if that is what their brother wants, the best they can do is to support him. He has a child with her. And if that is what he wants, they can only tell him what they think is their peace of mind and leave him to make his decision and not try and force him to do what he doesn't want.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I think the person who asked the question is getting too much involved in the brother's
Relationship.
and it won't help the brother. So it's not right.
Okay. All right.
I think they are coming from a home where having a master's is, so the man has been a master and working in a mining company. So, the girl is a gold digger.
They want to make sure
and
that
they are contemptuous. They are looking down on the lady because she's SHS. They are making her uncomfortable.
But the guy knew she's SHS, and that's what he wanted to do that thing.
All right. Okay, we have a question all the way from the US. Good evening. You are live on Ask the Counsellors. Would love to hear your question. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
My name is Adeline. I'm calling from the US.
From the US, okay. All right.
My question is quite long, so bear with me.
Okay, so please summarize it. Summarize it so
We
that we
don't
can
have enough time.
Yes, so just summarize it so that we can help you. Yeah.
Okay. I came to the US in 2007 with my mom.
Okay.
Once we got here, she basically told me I was on my own. I was 19 then. She kicked me out of the apartment we lived in. when I lost my job because I couldn't pay the bills.
Okay.
Forward, I got married. I have 4 children now. They are really young.
Okay.
Last year, my mom lost her job, so I kind of helped her find another job. 3 months in the job, she said she was tired, so she quit the job. She wanted to move to Ghana. I helped her, and then she moved. Now she wants to come back and live with me and my husband and my kids. We live in a 3-bedroom apartment, and there's no space for her. She doesn't even want to hear it. And she's been demanding money on and off. I'm just tired. You know, she keeps saying that, you know, yeah, to my elder brother and myself, I'm the girl, so I'm supposed to, you know, sponsor her and give her money.
Okay.
You know, that's what my money is supposed to do. My husband is supposed to take care of me and the kids. So I shouldn't worry about that.
Okay. All right. So
I just
you.
don't know what to do.
So thank you. We get your question. All right.
Yeah.
Where's your dad? I think she's gone. All right.
I assume that the dad probably is not around. It's a difficult one, but that's a very unreasonable matter. And she shouldn't make her mother break her marriage. Because if the mother thinks that the man is supposed to take care of everything and she should bring her money to her, that is the typical accounting. That is the typical, and it's a very bad one. In the days we live in, the men and the women contribute to make the home work. And so she must take a decision. She's of age. She should be able to give her mother something every month. But she should give what she can. She shouldn't do what she cannot do to the detriment of her husband and the children. Yes, that's what I would say.
All right. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for joining us once again. We'll continue to try to bring you the keys and the solutions and the answers that will make your home a happy one and make your marriage and your relationship work. And thank you for all the questions that have come in and keep coming in. We'll continue to persist to bring you the answers as and when we have time. Next week, we want to start a topic on dealing with in-laws, or how to treat your in-laws or handle your in-laws or approach them. It looks like quite a number of people have issues there, how to deal with them. So next week will be coming your way once again, same time, 6:30 to 8 o'clock, on handling in-laws. Bishop is having a series on righteousness and power, and you need to listen to this. Sunday, he spoke about lies, and he spoke about foolish talk and jesting. You need you need to hear it. When you hear it, you realize how unsafe you are as a believer. So you can join him this Sunday from 7 to 8:30 for the first service, and from 9 to 10:30 for our second service. Here in the Perez Dome, if you are watching from outside Ghana, you can tune in on Facebook or on Precious Television. I'm going to hand over to Bishop to pray to release some blessings and power into your home. Over to you.
Okay.
Sir.
Can we share a word of prayer? Heavenly Father, we join our faith together and we commit our viewers into your hands. We pray that, Lord God, for all those who are having one challenge or the other in their relationships, you will meet them at their point of need. And we pray that, Lord God, those who are believing to get married also, you will help them make the right decision, and what they need to make their relationship work, you will supply in Jesus' name. We pray for those believing you for children. Touch them and grant them the fruit of the womb. And Lord, let's have testimonies like never before. In Jesus' name, we call it done. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for staying tuned with us. Have a blessed evening and a blessed week. God be with you. Bye-bye.